Hi, everybody. This is Dawn Mitchell, and welcome to Dawn of Sports. We have an awesome podcast for you today. Someone that I'm so excited to introduce you to. Not only is Sarah Ahlquist Schneider a fierce competitor in U.S. women's bandy on Team USA. She's actually on two different Team USAs for two different sports. We're talking bandy, we're talking ball hockey, and also Sarah just came back from the World Championships in Sweden, where she and her team won the bronze medal, and she was named best goalkeeper. So we have Sarah Ahlquist Schneider coming up.
She's Dawn Mitchell from Fox 9, host of Dawn of Sports. I'm Jim Suhan from Talk North and the Star Tribune. Thanks to Sarah for joining us. We are coming to you today from the Aquarius Home Services Studio. If you find a show you like at talknorth.com, including this one, please subscribe to your favorite podcast app. It's free. It's the easiest way to listen. Also want to thank our sponsors, natrium.com, Minnesota Masonic Charities. Also a broad-based Talk North sponsor, Giggly THC Beverages, has a promo code you might be interested in, GIGLI North. Giggly North will get you 50% off your first order. We love that stuff. I highly recommend it. Back to Dawn.
All right. Thanks, Jim. Well, you all know I love to bring you badass, strong women who not only excel at sports, but are good people. And today, Sarah Ahlquist Schneider is exactly that person, fresh off the Bandy World Championships in Sweden, where Team USA won a bronze. And congratulations personally to you, Sarah, for being named best goalkeeper for the second time in your career. You must be exhausted, but I'm so excited that you're on our program today. Congratulations and welcome. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. I'm doing really well. It was a thrill to win that bronze medal in Sweden, and yeah, happy to be home now too.
When people ask you what bandy is, and we'll get to your other sport in a moment, ball hockey, but when people first say, what is bandy? I know probably over a decade ago when I was first introduced to it, and it blew my mind that I hadn't heard of it. Being a former soccer player, being a sportscaster, I love hockey, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're combining two of the best sports ever in the entire world for bandy? What is this? So can you tell our listeners exactly what bandy is if they haven't heard of it?
Absolutely. Yeah, you nailed it when you said it was a combo of hockey and soccer. It's called the fastest team sport on ice for a reason, because you're playing with skates on, but you've got a sheet of ice to work with the size of a soccer field. So lots of room to move around out there. And the blades are actually a little bit different too for bandy skates. They've got more blade on the ice, which allows the players to move a little bit faster, kind of like speed skating. But as far as mechanics, it looks a lot like hockey. Like you've got a stick and the skates, obviously, and you're trying to hit a little pink ball into a net. The ball is about the size of a hockey puck. But as far as strategy and positioning, it looks a lot more like soccer. Like all the positions and the rules are very much akin to soccer. It's 11 on 11 with a goalie, like I said, on a huge sheet of ice. It's really fun to play. And it's really fun to watch, too. Super popular over in Sweden, Norway, Finland, Russia, those areas. And it's starting to catch on here in the U.S., especially in Minnesota. The only place that we play bandy really in America is in Minnesota, because it's the only regulation size rink in Roseville over at the Oval.
Oh,
so, yeah.
That's super cool. Wow.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Congratulations first on being named best goalkeeper by the Swedish Bandy Association right after the World Championship. But this is your second time, right? So how does that feel for you?
Thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, it is a huge honor to be named, best goalkeeper, especially at my age. It just shows that you can still do things, that you can accomplish things on the quote unquote wrong side of 40, to be named best goalkeeper. That was huge in that regard, but it really is a testament to my teammates. I mean, it's a team award as far as I see it. I've got phenomenal defenders in front of me, out there blocking shots and clearing rebounds and just, playing rough and tough. We have such a strong team, and, winning best goalie. It's great, but it's a team award, really. We played so well together as a team last week in Sweden.
Well, you say the wrong side of 40. I think you can just say that you're always 28. That way no one ever asks, right? But
That works.
body-wise, you got to keep yourself in shape to keep up with the young whippersnappers, right?
For sure, yeah. So it's a lot of dedication, a lot of time in the weight room, and just trying to eat right. And thankfully, I've got a husband that cooks for me, and he likes to cook healthy food, so he gets a shout out too, for sure.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That's a keeper. That's a keeper right there.
Yeah, I think I'll keep him.
We'll be over for dinner too, by the way. Just remind him.
Come on over anytime.
We had talked in the past about your light bulb moment with the sport. Not so much that your love for playing it, but just how huge, like you mentioned, it is in Europe. And your first international experience was in 2012. And can you tell our listeners exactly how you felt? Because I think years ago you told me it was like landing on another planet when you're thinking, okay, it's the Bandy, World Championships, it'll be a tournament, and then you landed and you're like, oh my goodness.
Yes. Yeah, you nailed it again. I mean, oh my gosh. So yeah, like my first time, playing, like my first year was 2011, 2012. So like very new to the sport. And obviously like even less people knew about it in America over a decade ago. Now it's starting to get a little bit of a following, but yeah, like nobody knew about it in America. So after 30 hours of exhausting travel, we landed in Siberia, in Irkutsk, over by like Lake Baikal, really just out there in the middle of nowhere, Siberia. And, we're stepping out onto the frozen tarmac because the plane doesn't even have like a jet bridge. You just literally step out in Siberia, like, okay, here we are. And we were greeted by TV reporters, by fans that wanted autographs, and they were giving us gifts. And I'm just like, that's when I was like, what planet did we land on? Like people were just so hyped that the USA bandy team had arrived. And so, yeah, I mean, it kind of just went on from there. Like we played outside. One of the days we were in a little suburb of Irkutsk called Shelikov, and the stadium seats 5,000 people. And we were playing against Canada, so we weren't even playing against the home team, Russia. But that stadium was sold out. Like fans just packed into this little stadium, 5,000 people strong. And by the way, too, it was also like -30 that day with the wind chill. So like they came out and they're just like freezing, but it didn't even matter. They just love the sport so much. And it's like, to be honest, like USA Canada is probably the worst game you can watch back then. Like we weren't even that good, but like they still just supported us, and it was amazing experience. So yeah, like that. After that, I'm like, I want to just keep doing this. This is amazing. And I came home and recruited a bunch of my friends from ice hockey, and yeah, a lot of those girls are now on the team today. So it's pretty sweet, pretty fun experience.
Yeah, talk about thinking what Siberia is going to be like, and pretty much it met your expectations as you're getting off the plane, and then wow, all those people, and then how you were received. Like that is so amazing, and then it's just gotten better for you since then, right?
For sure. Yeah, it's great. And the people they were just so kind over there too. Just like giving us food all the time. And yeah, no, it's just been, I've been blessed to travel since Russia. I've been to Sweden, Finland, Norway, even China to play, so the sport has really literally taken me around the world and opened up so many doors. And it's just been a great way to stay competitive after playing, college hockey. You think you're kind of done. And I played for the Whitecaps women's hockey team for a while, but like this sport has really opened up an opportunity to stay competitive, and also the blessing of representing my country, which is a dream come true. So very, very thankful.
Absolutely. And a perfect segue. I was going to ask you, a lot of women have asked me in the past, like, I don't even know how you get into bandy. And I said, well, you can start with hockey. And you were the first girl to play for a boys' high school varsity hockey team. You were raised in South St. Paul. Then you played for the girls' hockey teams where you were, and I love this, you in 1998-99 set the state girls record for most shutouts in a season with 19. So you had a solid hockey background before you went to Princeton and were all Ivy for the Tigers. So that was your love to even play with the boys out of the gate. That's pretty incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you. No, I just feel very blessed. Like it's always just worked out. Like the guys were, they were like brothers to me. Like you've heard horror stories of girls playing guys hockey where they were mean, but my guys were always just like, it was like having 15 brothers. So feel very blessed. And then, again, to play for the South St. Paul girls team senior year, we were so good. We had such a good team. And again, those 19 shutouts, yes, it's a personal accolade, but like that's, again, a testament to my defense and the people in front of me. So been pretty lucky to play for some pretty good teams my whole career.
Well, and also, you were with the Whitecaps when they won the Clarkson Cup back in 2010, and I remember that well. I got here in 2004, and I was first introduced to the Whitecaps then, and the Whitecaps are basically, just kind of getting started. But to know that you're one of the pioneers of the PWHL now, because that was the founding cornerstone. So even in your ice hockey resume, before you got to bandy, before you got to ball hockey, you're part of something amazing. That's incredible. They always say pioneers take arrows, and it is true, right? You had to go through the growing stages of the sport, but to see what it has become, that must make you proud.
Yeah, no, the ladies and I that were on that original Whitecaps team in 2004, 2005, we take so much pride in being the foundation of the amazing thing that women's professional ice hockey has become. And you talk about taking arrows, the first thing that comes to mind is a 15-hour bus ride into the middle of nowhere, Saskatchewan, to go up and play the Saskatchewan prairie ice. Now they're allowed to fly places, which is a lot better. But no, yeah, we take great pride in setting that foundation, and we're so happy to see where the sport has come, and can't wait to see where it goes for women. It's really exciting.
Back to Dawn and Sarah in a moment. Did want to let you know that we're sponsored by Natrium, Natreum.com. Go to the website, order it for delivery. I also recommend, if you can, going to the Mothership store in St. Louis Park, because there's so many varieties, candies, gummies, dips, balms, oils for your gut, quick fix things for stress, and they come in a million different flavors. There are so many different levels of THC, of CBD, different combinations. I really recommend going and talking to a professional. First time I went into one of these stores, I talked to somebody. I told them what my preferences were, what I wanted to use it for, which is mainly sleep and joint pain. And what they gave me tasted great, and I use it all the time. I use the roll-on bombs. I use the sleep aids, especially the Goodnight Moon sleep aids. But you might want it for fun. You might want it for taste. Go in and talk to a professional. Once you figure out exactly what works for you, then you can just order it from the website. Highly recommend it. It's natural products. They'll make you feel better. They make me feel better. So go to natrium.com to check them out. Also want to thank Aquarius Home Services and another Minnesota company doing great work. Here's more on Minnesota Masonic Charities.
When people think of the Freemasons, they often think of secret handshakes and unusual hats, and of course, the pancake breakfast. Minnesota Masonic Charities would prefer that you think about the work that they do right here in our community. Places like the Masonic Cancer Center at the University of Minnesota, or the Masonic Children's Hospital and the Masonic Home in Bloomington. They are just a few examples of the important work that the Freemasons support here in Minnesota. As part of the largest fraternal organization in the world, Masons have consistently answered the call when it comes to charitable needs. I am happy that Minnesota Masonic Charities has chosen Minnesota Bound and this podcast as a place to help spread the word. We look forward to learning so much more about their many programs here in the weeks to come.
And back to Dawn and Sarah.
Jim, every time you talk about Natrium, I just picture you walking into the store and then having to be dragged out. Like that's my visual. Like you didn't want to leave.
Well, that is what you would see if you did a documentary. Yes.
Should probably do that in the near future.
Yeah, I think we should. Absolutely. All right. So, Sarah, before the break here, I think maybe some of the people have already forgotten too that you're on a second Team USA, which is ball hockey. And literally after you flew back from Sweden, then you went right back out to New Jersey to play on the ball hockey team. So some people might be like, now what's ball hockey? Can you explain that?
For sure. It's another niche sport. Not so popular here in Minnesota, but actually very, very popular out on the East Coast, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, Philadelphia area. It's basically just street hockey. You play on a regulation size hockey rink, or sometimes they're a little bit smaller. You play with sneakers, and yeah, you play hockey. It's a ton of fun. And like you said, I've been blessed to be included with the U.S. women's national team for that as well, at the masters level. So it's 35 and over, which is really cool that they have something like that in ball hockey for the older gals. And yeah, I've been lucky enough to win a gold and a silver medal competing internationally with that team. So pretty sweet.
Incredible. Now, I can say I actually have played ball hockey. So woo,
Yeah, right.
woo, woo, woo.
See,
So way
yeah,
back
you
when
know.
I lived in Boston, right there on Soldier Field Road, there was an ice rink right there. I used to work at WBZ, which is literally kind of like not even a block away. And there was a league, and they said, "Come on, like today we're just doing a pickup game because so many people were sick or out or something like that." And so me and a bunch of my friends had zero idea what we were getting into. Falling, of course, the first 10 minutes, because your sneakers on ice, right? But then
Right.
you're right. It was so much fun. But to hear now that there's actually not only a Team USA, there's for the 35 and older, and to hear that you've won gold and silver and got to don the Team USA jersey once again. Some people are just say they're lucky enough to play for one USA team in their life in one sport, and you get to do it in two. I don't think I've ever met anyone that's been on two different Team USA sports. So that's quite a kudos for you, isn't it?
Thank you. Yeah, no, it just shows that like sometimes dreams come true in ways that you don't necessarily picture them. Like, I mean, growing up, like every kid that plays hockey, you wanted to play for your national team, So I always had a dream of being on the USA ice hockey team, and had a successful career, but didn't quite make it to that level. So then later on in life to play for both USA Bandy and USA Ball Hockey, it just shows that, don't give up on your dreams. Sometimes they come true in roundabout, random ways, and they still mean a ton. So, yeah.
That's great advice, especially for younger women athletes that sometimes I know I went through this after college. When I first graduated, you're so excited about what am I going to do for the rest of my life, but you don't realize, wow, this is the first time for me since third grade I have not been on a team of some sort. I have not had to wake up for practice or have a coach or a team that I was accountable to, and that structure. And it can really mess with people's heads a little bit. For me, it was more sadness that I
Mhm.
didn't have a practice to go to. I didn't have anyone that I had old teammates now, and you could talk and be like, yeah, well, what do you do from this time slot to that time slot, where your whole life was meeting up with someone. And to be honest with you, like the physical activity was secondary. Like it was more fun to have your teammates and compete and do all that, and you miss that. So in addition to telling these young athletes that there's something else out there, how would you tell them to just to stay positive and stay focused and to be open to something different? I mean, bandy is different from hockey, but to be open to adjust and find a different kind of joy.
Yeah, no, and that's great. Great thought process for sure. With bandy, like a lot of the times, when I was first starting, especially, and I'd try to recruit ice hockey players to it, they'd be like, "Oh, that's a weird sport. That's not the same. I'm not doing that. It's weird." But and it took some convincing for some of my ice hockey teammates to make the switch over. And the thing is, once they did, they're like, "Wow, I am so glad that I do this. Like, this is so much fun. Like, yes, it's different, but it's fun." And like you were talking about, just like, the loss of when you're done playing competitively, like the camaraderie that you don't have, this is a way to keep that going, not just like here, we play a local league all winter long, but, overseas, like having the crazy trips overseas and inevitably all of the stories that come along with that.
Yeah.
As being an athlete and being on a team, it's like you say, like the actual sport is fun and the competition, but just the camaraderie and the crazy, crazy stories and memories that you make being a part of a team. I mean, that's the stuff that like really kind of matters the most at the end of the day. It's the memories. So yeah, for sure. I mean, hopefully more and more people will come out and see that this is another avenue to stay competitive and to represent the country. So I'm hoping that people listening to this, come out and play bandy because it's a lot of fun.
Oh, I hope so. And is there a website that people can go to if they really want to join bandy or even ball hockey?
Yeah, for sure. Both of them have websites. The women's bandy actually has our own website. It's pretty straightforward, www.usawomensbandy.com. And we also have Instagram and Facebook. So, send us a message on Instagram and we'll reply and we'll get you connected to come on out and try it. And we play it all year round. Like obviously our big rink in Roseville is only open, during November to early March because of, it's outside and it gets hot in Minnesota. But we play year round in hockey rinks. It's called rink bandy. So that's a great opportunity for, former ice hockey players that want to come out and give it a try because it's in a hockey rink, which is more familiar. And yeah, everybody's welcome, all abilities. Like we just want to keep getting people out to our sport because it's a lot of fun.
Well, before I let you go, you had mentioned to him earlier about how your husband is really good to you and he cooks you some nice healthy meals, but he also has a history in the hockey world too, and dare I call him a movie star as well. Do you want to tell people about that?
Yeah, you can call him a movie star. I know I always joke with him about that, and he's like, "Oh, stop it, I'm not." But technically he is. He has an IMDb, so we're gonna roll with it. Yeah, so he starred in the Disney movie Miracle, and that came out in '04. And he had the unique opportunity to play the role of his father in that movie, Buzz Schneider, who was on the 1980 Miracle on Ice team. So yeah, it's pretty awesome to marry a movie star, I guess, and and he cooks for me as a bonus. So yeah.
And how cool to be able to have that chance to play your dad. That's such something like one of those core memories that you keep forever, right?
Yeah, and Buzz said that he did a pretty good job, so he takes high praise for that. So
Woo,
yeah.
that's a relief. Can you imagine if you didn't? You'd hear that every time you saw your dad.
Yeah.
Like, oh, why did you say this? Like, I don't do that.
That'd be a disaster, but no, thankfully he pulled it off. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. Well, I also know that I don't know how you found time, but you're also the Woodbury hockey coach. You also coach softball. You're in the middle of a softball season right now. You obviously have learned time management from your sporting days throughout your entire life. It just keeps you crazy busy, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Like the cliche goes, I guess it keeps you young. So you know what? I better keep doing it then because it's worked. So
That's right. You're on the good side of 40. Don't say bad side of 40. That's what we'll
that's
say.
right.
The good
Yeah,
side.
we're gonna roll with that. I like that.
That's awesome. Well, Sarah, thank you so much. I am so proud of you. Not only, I know it's a personal accolade and team is bigger for you, of course, but best goalkeeper again, second times, 10 years apart. That's huge. I'm just giving you so much love for that. And congratulations to your bandy team that won bronze. And congrats for all of your accolades in ball hockey. And thank you for being an inspiration for women that it's not over when college is done if you don't play pro somewhere. So, congrats to you on all of your successes.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and thanks so much again for having me on.
Oh, for sure, for sure. We'll have you on again down the road, and you can fill us in on your next gold medal. That's what I'm going to say.
All right, sounds like a plan.
All right, thank you, Sarah. That's
Yep.
Sarah Ahlquist Schneider, everybody.